Let's bring in my guest this hour. Watching along with you at home, we have criminal defense attorney Jeffrey Wolf, friend of the program. All right, so let me get your initial thoughts on this case. He admitted to all these really gruesome crimes, killing his wife, killing the dogs, killing the in-laws when they got suspicious. He was sending text messages to them of the pictures of the kids and trying to play the role of his wife to think that she was okay for his family members. I mean, really sick guy. What is your take on this case right now in this penalty phase?
Yeah, I mean, it's a death penalty phase, right? So what the prosecution needs to do is they need to show the jury how heinous the crime was, and what the defense is going to have to do when they get their turn is focus on him and what caused him to do it and what is redeemable about him and what kind of things happened in his upbringing that led him to that point, so that the jury can see that this is not something that just happened in a vacuum and that he didn't just do it because he's evil, but that there's something in his history that led him to do this. And that is really what death penalty sentencings are about. They're about the prosecution showing how evil the act was and the defense showing the lack of evil in the person themselves.
Yeah, and you know, this jury that has to make the recommendation to the judge, whether it's going to be death row or life behind bars without the possibility of parole, you know, because he pled guilty, there was no evidence presented in the innocence guilt phase. So it's like a mini trial, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It basically ends up being the entire crime having to be laid out for the jury because they have no familiarity with it. They've been told, hey, this person pled guilty to these charges, but charges mean nothing to a jury. They don't know anything about the case itself, so the whole thing has to be presented to them, and it becomes really painstaking, and it will take a lot longer than one would expect a sentencing phase of a case to take. And it's not just aggravation and mitigation. All the facts are going to have to be laid out for this jury, and it's going to take a lot longer, like I said, than folks would expect it to take.
Yeah, do you think that he's going to testify on his own behalf to try to save his own skin?
You know, I think that that's going to be a very personal decision for him. I think that it's...
Oh, come on, tell me, what do you think?
I think it's usually a lot less effective in this type of situation than it is in a self-defense type argument. I think that what is most effective in a death penalty case is for psychologists to testify about who he is and how he got to be where he was that led him to commit this type of offense. I don't think this is about, you know, self-defense. This is about psychological issues that could lead somebody to commit such a heinous set of offenses.
Absolutely. All right, Jeffrey Wolf, you're going to be sticking with us all hour long. Coming up, don't go anywhere. The jury sees more gruesome crime scene photos. Those are laid out for them during this penalty phase in the state of Florida for the confessed killer right there on your screen, Shelby Neely.
As an emergency room physician, I worked in level 1 trauma centers for years. I know what happens back there. One ambulance after another, with injured patients and lives that are changed forever. I understand. I took care of those people. Thank you. Now, as an attorney, my team and I care for the same people, but in a different way, working to get our clients' lives back to normal. If you've been injured, our medical and legal expertise provides a unique advantage. Ramos Law. What makes us different makes us better.
This is Court TV Live. Welcome back. I'm Matt Johnson. Thanks for being with us. We are in the state of Florida, where sentencing is underway for confessed mass murderer Shelby Neely. Neely had pleaded guilty to killing his father-in-law, mother-in-law, brother-in-law, and their 3 dogs. This happened back in 2018. Prosecutors say that he killed them after they became suspicious that he had murdered their daughter, his wife, Jamie. Now a jury must decide if they recommend that he should be sentenced to death or sentenced to life behind bars without the possibility of parole. Let's get you back into that courtroom now in Florida, where the jury is seeing crime scene photos.
Yeah.
Is the area you're documenting right there?
Yes.
On the other piece of furniture, next to the carrier cabinet, I'm not even trying to guess what that is called. Did you document any areas on that piece of furniture as well?
Yes.
All right, and State's Exhibit 46. Is this a close-up of one of the areas of interest that you documented?
Yes.
And you know some spatter right there that you have the ruler next to?
Yes.
In kind of the center of the photograph?
Yes.
And then State's Exhibit 47. Is that the same piece of furniture we were just talking about, but now you're documenting some spatter on the side?
Yes.
I would like to turn your attention to State's Exhibits 48 through 95. Let me just run through those really quick. You recognize those photographs?
I do.
Judge, at this time, the state would like to move State's Exhibits 48 through 95 into evidence.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
They're admitted.
I'm going to explain State's Exhibit 48. Can you tell us, actually I'm going to grab State's Exhibit 16. If I could just get you recognize this?
Yes.
You know different areas is depicting?
Yes.
If I can you just can you show us what area the photograph I'm displaying is of, from where it's being taken?
So I'm standing right here on the edge of the kitchen, photographing into this room right here.
And there's a chair right there in the foreground. Was that chair just there in the kitchen when you guys got there?
Yes.
And what was here on the floor?
It was a tarp.
Okay. And were all these little folds in the tarp as if it had been unfolded or had previously been folded and now obviously it's unfolded?
Yes.
Or were there rocks on the some of the edges of the tarp?
Yes.
And that was Stage Exhibit 48. Now displaying State's Exhibit 49. Is this that same tarp? And you can see one of the same rocks and an additional rock?
Yes.
Beyond the additional rock, is that the hallway that leads to the bedrooms where the bodies were found?
Yes.
Okay. State's Exhibit 50. So once again, are we able to see that that hallway, the tarp, and the rocks?
Yes.
And is this the front door of the residence on the right side of the photograph?
Yes.
And is there a couch inside the front door that has similar coloring, similar style as the one that we were looking at in the other room?
Yes.
Showing you State's Exhibit 51. Different areas I want to ask you about here. So, in general, on the walls, was there spatter that was of interest to you?
Yes.
We'll talk about that a little bit later, but what was going on with these white spots here on the walls?
It appeared that there was a paint over possible spatter.
Okay. And so maybe compost bags in the area?
Yes.
They're just to the, in the photographs, to the right of the front door?
Yes.
And at the bottom of the photograph, what was this right here?
It's packaging.
Okay. For like a rope?
Yes.
Now, this particular item, this package, did you later do further processing of that item?
I have to see my follow-up supplement.
Okay. Do you need to check your
Yes.
your report?
Yes.
Refresh your recollection?
I did.
Okay. So in the package and the rope, were these collected as evidence?
Yes.
And what kind of further processing did you do on that particular, the packaging, the bag?
Fingerprints.
Okay, and how did you go about doing that?
With a super glue process called cyanoacrylate fuming, and we follow that process with either black powder or a chemical called M-Star.
Okay, and what is the reason that you use those processing agents?
To get any ridge detail on the item.
Okay, and did you get some possible ridge detail on this particular item?
Yes.
And once you do that, what do you do with the ridge detail? How do you keep that collected?
So if it's an M-Star print, that's a dye stain print, we take a photograph of it and our photographs become our lift and it gets submitted to our APHIS division. If it's a black powder print, we lift it off with tape, put it on a card, and that goes to APHIS.
Okay. And did you follow that process with the print that you were able to lift from this particular bag?
Yes.
And when did you submit that print to your APHIS division labeled as rope bag or room E?
Yes.
Okay. And that.
All right, we're going to hit the pause button right there. We do have to take a short break. Coming up, the jury in Washington State is expected back soon in the attempted honor killing trial that we've been covering. As soon as that jury is back in the box, we will take you there live. But as we wait, we're going to head back to Florida for more testimony in the in-law massacre sentencing case. This is Court TV Live, your front row seat to justice.
Two parents face a jury
over the attempted murder of their own daughter. Court TV takes you inside the trial that's torn a family apart.
The attempted honor killing trial. Live coverage today, only on Court TV.
Tonight, on closing arguments, a Georgia teenager charged with killing her mother and stepfather. Her grandfather speaks with Court TV, giving his insight into the investigation.
Closing arguments tonight at 8/7 Central, only on Court TV.
Let's head back to Florida together, where the in-law massacre sentencing is underway for defendant Shelby Neely. Neely pleaded guilty to killing his in-laws and their 3 dogs back in 2018 after they became suspicious that he had killed his wife Jamie, which he did. Now a jury must decide if they recommend the death sentence or life behind bars. Let's get you back into court now, where a forensic supervisor is on the stand going over some gruesome crime scene photos.
State's Exhibit 52. Can you tell us what we're looking at in State's Exhibit 52?
It's an additional picture of the same room that we were in, the living room area.
So would the front door be just to the left of this photograph?
Yes.
And again, you can see McDonald's bags. Was there an orange glove on the ground, on the floor?
Yes.
Above everything? Is there another orange glove of some kind over here on the this little table on the right side of this photograph?
Yes.
And some kids' toys over here on the right side of this photograph?
Yes.
Now, on the far right side of this photograph, would that be where that opening was that was blocked by the couch and the curio cabinet that we referenced earlier?
Correct.
Okay. Now I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 53. Are we able to see the curio cabinet and the couch that's blocking the entryway in that living room into the what might be a dining room area?
Yes.
Okay. And here on the right side of the photograph, is that a TV on some sort of cabinet or piece of furniture?
Yes.
Dresser? State's Exhibit 54. What are you documenting in this photograph?
A picture of the couch in the same room.
Okay, and is this couch along the wall, the same wall that the front door is on?
Yes.
So the front door would be to the left of this photograph?
Yes.
And was there a big pink hippo stuffed animal on that couch when you guys got there?
Yes.
And like a shopping bag, it's like a Walmart?
Yes.
Now, I want to draw your attention on that same exhibit. Is there an area on that brown couch that was discolored and white?
Yes.
And did you take a closer photograph of that particular area of discoloration?
I did.
So I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 55. State's Exhibit 55, a close-up of that discoloration.
Yes.
So the wall and the windows this couch is against, would that be towards the top of this photograph?
Yes.
Okay. Now, just above this couch on the ceiling, which is the photographs later, but was there like areas of spatter that looked like perhaps they had been painted over with white spray paint?
Yes.
And was this mark consistent with if some of that spray paint had dripped and ended up on the couch?
Could be.
State's Exhibit 56. Can you tell us what we're looking at in this photograph?
The floor just in front of the couch.
So this is not the couch against the same wall as the front door. This is the couch against the other wall that is closer to the hallway?
Correct.
So on the upper left side of this photograph, if you were to go this way, would it be the hallway that leads to veterans?
Yes.
All right, and what were these items here that I'm pointing out?
Tarp. One was a tarp package and one had a tarp inside a package.
So the one in the bottom right corner, was that an unopened tarp?
Yes.
And the one kind of in the center of the photograph, was that the remnants of the packaging for a tarp?
Yes.
Did this tarp in the unopened package look consistent with the tarp that was lying on the floor a few feet away from this area?
Yes.
Explain United States Exhibit 57. Can you see the areas of white spray paint on the wall there?
Yes.
And is on the left side of this photograph is the front door?
Yes.
And you put a ruler there to help document the measurements?
Correct.
Now, by this point, had you started to remove things so that you could get to other items and more properly document other items?
Correct.
And there are some drink cans here. Were those cans of Bang, empty cans of Bang energy drink?
Yes.
And did you process those items later?
Yes.
And in particular, did you process one of them and get a possible fingerprint from it?
Yes.
Did you utilize the same type of processing methods that you already described for us?
I did.
And once you got that lift, did you submit it to your APHIS section like you described for us in the last lift?
Yes.
And did you submit?
What do you make of this guy's demeanor? Looking around, looking at the jury, looking at all those crime scene photos. He admitted to the crime. He did it. He's like, yeah, I did that. What is this jury thinking? Let's bring in our guest for this hour, criminal defense attorney Jeffrey Wolf in Denver, Colorado. This guy has enough self-preservation to wear a shirt and tie in court. What do you make of his demeanor?
I think he seems extremely casual. I don't think he looks extremely remorseful in any way, shape, or form. But the biggest thing that stood out to me is how different he looks from the pictures. And I think he looks like he spent some time behind bars, and it looks like he may have made some friends in there based on his haircut.
What
and
are you
that is
suggesting there?
to me.
What kind of friends?
Well, self-preservation, if you know what I mean. I think that there is a way to survive in there. And if I was on a jury as a regular everyday person and I know what it takes to survive in custody, I would have a very, very particular thought about his haircut.
Okay, and when we are talking about where we're at right now, I mean, this is the penalty phase. The jury either recommends death row or life behind bars. Can they hear, since this is a penalty phase, it's different than an actual trial, can they hear other prior bad acts which you normally can't bring in? So, for instance, you know, he also murdered his wife, and then he murdered his her parents, and then brother-in-law, and then the dogs. But he also murdered a friend of his, and he was convicted of that. So can this jury hear those bad facts?
So the defense is likely to open the door to some of that stuff, quite frankly, because when you put on character evidence to show peacefulness or to explain some of this behavior, it allows the prosecution to rebut some of that and to show that this is a long-standing violent history that he has. And so it can allow some of that pattern behavior in if you open the door to that. And so you have to be careful.
What are you expecting next by the state? Do you think that they've proven their case? In short, we got to go.
I think they've done a very good job.
All right, Jeffrey Wolf, thank you so much. Coming up next, Kelly Craft joins me on the desk for more of those crime scene photos in the in-law massacre sentencing case. This is Court TV Live.